appreciate it. If you're new here, welcome. I am just getting all situated here. There we go. Okay. I think I am ready. All right. So I'm doing a little basket weave, some stamping. At the end, I've got some new Stampin' Up! Products to show you. Not a lot. Um, I think that's about it. We'll get started. Okay, so I thought I'd do the stamping part first. I'm going to stamp this cute little bee gnome from My Creative Time. This is a stamp and die set called Stay Beautiful, Beautiful, and it's MCT 422. And actually, she has a brand new release that just started today. And so, for today and I think tomorrow till midnight, you can get 15% off by entering one of her design team members' name. There's several to choose from, but I used Moe, MOE, so that'll get you 15% off. Anytime that she's not having a release, you still can get 10% off just by using a design team member name. Or I think you can put her name in, Emma. I think you can put mom in because her mom helps her. So I think you can put any of those in. Okay, so let's stamp this little gnome. And the die cuts him out and it cuts out these little greetings or sayings. I am stamping onto Spectrum Noir's, let's see what they call it. It is the Ultra Smooth Premium White Cardstock, and I do find it on Amazon. It's by Crafter's Companion, but I really like this paper for working with alcohol markers. Which reminds me that I did not get my markers out, so I'm going to have to do that. I really only need like maybe 3 colors or so to color this little guy up. That's weird. My paper didn't stick. Maybe I didn't push on it enough. It is nice here today where I live, which was unexpected, but I'll take it. Anytime the sun shines, I'm a happy girl. Okay, so I'm inking him up with Memento Tuxedo Black. And by the way, if you order that from Stampin' Up, they're not going to be carrying it any longer after it sells out in their new catalog. So just letting you know, I'm not sure if it's still available now or if they might have a refill, but if you order from there, you might want to check that out before, if they still have it and before it's gone. Okay, let's see. I can't believe I forgot to get my markers out. Well, I can, but hi, Renee. Hi, Nancy. Aw, I'm glad you found me. Okay, so there is that. And let me grab my markers. I'm kind of thinking, let me look at my little papers over here. I'm kind of thinking that this dark mango melody might be the yellow that I want. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of like that, but maybe it's too orangey bright. Okay, let's try a different color here. What's this? Oh, this is light mango melody. But that's better. Ooh, I think that's just right. Okay, so I'm going to use that. And grab my other box. I better get my color lifter in case I make a boo-boo. Okay. So for his little nose, let's see how this color is. That's pretty good. And then I know I want light pool party. There's that. And I want light gray granite. No, I want light slate. No. Come out wherever you are. There we go. Okay, I think I am good. Well, what color of stripes? Maybe I want black. So let's see. I'll do light basic black for the stripes, I think. Pretty sure this is, yeah, that's dark. Usually I already have my colors pulled, so I apologize. There we go. Okay, I think I have got what I need now. Ooh, maybe I'll put some glitter on him when we're done. Okay, so I'm just gonna color his little nose. And oh look, I pulled it apart again. This is probably the same one I pulled apart last time, and I should have glued it and I didn't. Come on now. There we go. All right, so I'm just outlining the wings in this light pool party. But I think I will put some glitter on them when we're done here, some stickles. That would be cute. And those are probably the black color. Oh, he's got clothes. Okay, so I'll just make his little whatever he's wearing the same color as his bee stripes. Doesn't show too much there. And I'm going to do the bigger stripes in the yellow. Very simple, just coloring. I'm not going to do any shading on this guy. Although it would be cute. to shade it a little bit. I always say I'm not going to, and then I end up doing it. Okay, so here I go. Can't help myself. I just got to do a little bit on the sides. Nothing fancy. Just a little bit to give it some contour. Okay, that's better. I'm not even going to blend it out because when it dries, it'll be fine. So there's that. And then, is this my light? Yeah, light basic black. I'll do the other little stripes. Hi, Danita. Thanks for being here, you guys. So I was thinking I was going to do one thing, and then I started looking around at Pinterest last night, and I decided to do this whole basket weave thing. And part of the reason why is I bought the dies, these dies specifically to do it with. And I ordered them on Amazon, and I will show them to you here in a second. And then, time goes by and it's like, okay, I know I ordered those dies for something specific and I can't remember what it was. And then when I was on Pinterest last night, the card popped up. When I first saw it, I think it was in a group on Facebook. And then it popped up on Pinterest and it's like, that's why I bought those dies. Okay. And it was the same card, but then I saw a bunch of other variations, and I'm sure that this basket weave has been around for a super long time, but I don't particularly remember making one of these cards, and they're super simple, and you don't have to have dies to do it. Gosh, he's cute. Okay, so now I'm just going to outline his beard a little bit with this smoky slate because I want him to have a white mustache and beard. So we're just going to do this. And I would give him some pink cheeks, except there's nowhere to put pink cheeks. I'm not going to make pink cheeks on top of his beard. That wouldn't look right to me anyway. Okay, that is all I am going to do. And then at the end, I'll come and give him some dazzle in there on his little wings. Okay, and I love that there is a die in here to cut him out. So I'll do that, and then I think I'm gonna do the just because that would be a fun greeting to have for if you were sending this card out in Happy Mail or something. The other thing I am needing in my stash is more guy cards for sure. I'm seeing a hair somewhere. Okay, is this going to fit in this one? Yes. All right, there is that. Let me get a block. And I know I haven't used this yet, so I just want a piece of scrap paper here to, I like to take the photopolymer stamps and just rub them on some clean paper to get off any residue or film just from the making the stamp process. Just makes them stamp out a little bit better. Okay, now then, I will use this to, since it's a clear stamp, there's no cushion, so you got to have some cushion under there. I might have gotten a little crazy with the ink, we'll see. I'm going to stamp it twice just because, Nope, we'll go with the first one. All right. That way, when I go to die cut my little bee gnome guy, I can die cut this at the same time. Save a step. Okay, here they are. And hi, Sophia. He is cute, isn't he? All right. Can you guys hear that? I mean, our ring, my husband's out front and it keeps saying motion detected at your front door. And I know it's because he's out there, but I'm wondering if you guys can hear my phone doing that. Okay, let's see here. I think I will get a little piece of this stuff. Okay, Nancy, you can't hear it. That's good because it was going off quite a bit. All right. Oh, I just love him. He's so cute. Cute. Bzz, bzz, bzz. All right. There he is. And let's do this. And I love that there's stitching around it. Hopefully I am getting it straight. I think I did. I think I did all right. Cute. Okay, so we've got pretty much all of our parts and pieces here, I think, to get going. The only thing I really need to use another machine for is the embossing folder. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. And again, this little guy is called Stay Beautiful, and it's a My Creative Time set. All right, so now I was telling you about the dies that I bought from Amazon. These right here. They are called 2-pack bookmark cutting dies, crafting card making supplies. And the reason why I even ordered these, because like I said, you don't need dies to do what I'm going to do, but I wanted them because I wanted these kind of dies right here that are flagged on both ends with the stitch marks. And that's what I found. You don't need that, but you know. Then these are the ones that are considered the bookmarks, I think. Now, these ones will come apart really easy. These were a bit of a bear because they were inside of each other. And there's one missing because it's the size I'm going to use, this one. And they were held together, you know how the dies, how they do. There was barely any line in here, and so they were tagged on one side up here and down here. I couldn't fit any of my clippers through there to get them apart. I was panicking a little bit because I thought, okay, this is what I had lined up to do today, and I can't get the dies apart. Finally, what I did, just to let you know in case you run across this certain similar situation, is I took my bone folder and I just worked in between how these were in the little crease, and I lifted one side up that, okay, so like you can sort of see where the little notch is right there where it was connected, and then it was connected down here. So I just went in and kind of lifted up one side and then lifted from underneath the other side so that it was going to be kind of twisting like that, and they popped apart. So that's how I solved that situation. Okay, so I've already cut out my strips. And so the papers that I cut from, you can totally use scraps for this. But I used My Creative Time paper pads. So this one I got from this paper pad. I don't know if I took any others. Yeah, I did. The gingham one I took from this paper pad. From this one, which is called Bees and Butterflies, I took the honeycomb. And this one, isn't that cute with the little daisies and lemons and stuff? So I took that, and I probably took this one. Let me see what's on the other side of it. Yeah, so it's the back side of that. And the polka dot one, I just loved that it was yellow and black. I got from this one called Spring 2024. She has some really great papers. They do have the more slick surface, so if you don't like that, but it's not ultra shiny and slick. So anyway, that's where I got my papers from. And now then, I'm going to use a basic black card base. And this color is an old Stampin' Up color called Soft Suede. I'm going to run it through my bigger machine setting over here. In this honeycomb embossing folder, which is a Tim Holtz Alterations one. Who knows how long I've had it? A long time, I'm sure. So I'm just going to pop it in here. Hopefully somewhat straight, not that it really matters all that much. Okay, I'm going to run it through. I will be right back. Hi, Sue. Okay, it took me a second to get the right sandwich there to put that through. So it turned out pretty good, like that. All right, so I'm going to put that right on there. Now you could use either side of this, but I like this I think it would be considered the debossed side, and I'm going to use the embossed side. Okay. Okay, so there we go. And I'm sorry I keep saying okay. I find that I am saying it more and more all the time. Oh well. All right, so there's that. Now then, let's do the little basket weave. Starting the first couple ones starting out, I think, not that this is difficult in any way. I know I'm going to want that one going that direction and this one going that direction and this one. So it's 6 strips of paper is what I'm using. So I'm just going to lay this out here and decide how I think I might want it. And if you guys are like me when I'm watching videos, I'm like, no, put this there. Don't do that. Don't put it that way. Okay, I'm going with this, I do believe. Okay, so I'm liking that I have, and I could have gotten some grid paper out and then it wouldn't have been so slippery. What I am gonna do is just put a dot of glue. Come on, glue. You know what I did? I left the lid off my glue. I mean, it was in the holder, so the tip was still touching the silicone down there, which helps to lock it or whatever you want to say, seal it. But man, I left it off for a long time. That was not good news. So I had to play with it a little bit. Anyway, I've got the grid on here, so at least I can line this strip up. I just mostly want these 2 strips to be straight, and then I can go from there. Let me see, where's my glue? Okay. Let me move it down and get this onto a line. Once these 2 strips are on there straight, then I can just go from there. I don't have to worry too much about getting it too wonky. I'm just going to hold that in place for a second. You know, I think that's a good embossing folder too, Nancy. I have a gazillion embossing folders, and when I decided to use this little bee guy, I thought, I wonder if I have a honeycomb embossing folder. Surely I must. So I got my basket of them out, and there it was. Okay, did I make this go wonky? I think it's all right. Okay, so there's that. And then, okay, I'm gonna do next this one. And I'm not worrying about getting it, like this, because really I don't want them to be even. I want them to be a little bit uneven. So what I'm gonna do, maybe the top and the bottom can be a little bit more even, but where it sticks out on the side, I kind of want it uneven. So let me just get that strip back straight. And I'm going to yeah, it's sticking out further. So that's what I wanted. But I do want this one to be going straight. There we go. I think it's pretty straight. Doesn't have to be perfect. All right, then. Here's my middle one. It's going to go underneath. When I made my first card, I messed up. So I want to make sure that I don't do that again. Okay, so this one, I just kind of want to get it spaced evenly between the other two. But again, I don't care at the end if it's sticking out more or less. So let me put a little dot of glue right here. And you could use glue dots or whatever. The glue seems to be pretty handy. If I could get it to come out a little bit better. That's what I get for leaving the lid off. I try to be really careful about not doing that too, but sometimes I forget. Okay, let me see if I cleared it enough that I can get some out. Come on. Here it comes. Okay. Then I stuck my finger in it. All right, so this one is going behind. Have any of you done this before? I mean, basket weave. I'm sure at some point we've all done some sort of basket weave, but have you done it like sort of as an embellishment on one of your cards? Just curious. Yes, Renee, and I don't remember sometimes to use my embossing folders. It's like you get the card all put together and it's like, man, I should have embossed that plain paper. I should have embossed that layer. Yeah. Like I said, I've got a gazillion embossing folders, so I don't have an excuse. Okay, so maybe I should do this one next. It's going to go under, right? Yeah, it goes under. Okay. So maybe I'll have it come down like that. Come on, glue. I think the glob that is holding things up in there might have just come out. So Sue, you have done this basket weave thing. I just don't remember doing it like this, but oopsie, but maybe I have. If I did, it was probably a long time ago, and like I said, I know this is not anything new. For one thing, some of the cards that I was seeing on Pinterest were from close to my heart, and they're not around anymore. So am I doing this right? Yes. Wait a minute. Yes. Okay, so now I could put a little bit of glue here, I guess. I probably should. This one's going opposite, so this one's going to go under like that. Okay, I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Just because I want it wonky, I don't want it even. Okay, there we go. I'll put some glue there. And just hold that a second. I'm not going to worry about gluing the middle one because I don't think it's necessary, but I will glue this one down here. Cute. Okay, there we go. Ah, that's cute. Okay, so then I just kind of have to decide where I want my little bee guy. Let me glue this down. And I'm not even gonna, do I want it in the middle? I guess. I'll just do it like that. I like these colors together. See, this color matches that little line in that wood grain there. So that's how I picked that brown in particular. Okay, this guy, we're going to pop him up. And I'm going to get some stickles so that I don't forget. I got that new one. This one. No, that's not it. Oh, keep your fingers crossed that this doesn't create a craft-a-lanch here. Okay, seriously, look at my container, you guys. I have a couple of bottles of stickles. Okay. And do you have these liquid pearls? All right, Twinkle. This is the new one. I saw it and it's so much like a lot of these other ones. So this one's Stardust, this one's Twinkle. Twinkle's got more blue. I'm going to use Twinkle just because I haven't got to play with it yet because I just got it. This one's really pretty. Okay, we could sit here and look at all these, but I'm going to put it back. Wait, I don't think I got it in there right. There we go. Okay. All right, so you haven't ever done a weave, Nancy. Now you're going to have to do it. You could do it with some of your papers that you do on your thingamajig, the gel plate. Where do I want him? I'm going to put this down here, so then maybe I'll put him like that. Did I take the things off? Yes. Okay, and do I want to pop this up? I don't think so. I think I'm going to just glue it flat. I've got a piece of white to put on the inside, but I don't have, I should have cut a strip or something to make a little doodah for the inside. But for now, I'm just going to put this on the inside. Maybe I'll cut a little piece of, I'm not going to do it right this minute, but of the like honeycomb paper and make a little flag for the inside or a strip across the bottom. Maybe a strip across the bottom. That's what I will do. But for now, we're just going to do that. And then I will get this on his little wings. Oh, careful. Wow, it's really liquidy. Oh, it's pretty too. I love sparkly. He is cute, I have to say. Definitely needed glittery wings. Cute. All right. Very cute. Cute, cute, cute. I like it. Okay, so there he is. And then this is the one I did earlier this morning. It's just so feminine and pretty, right? So the lavender I used is Highland Heather from Stampin' Up, and the yellow, oh, Lemon Lolly. And then the plaid papers that I used on there were from this Impression Obsession. They're gone, right? Pastel. Really pretty paper pads. Now, you could go to Frantic Stamper maybe and see if she might have this. She's still got, even though she's been trying to go out of business, she's still got a lot of inventory. So, it's called Spring Plaids. Okay, so, oh, and the little heart is from, I should have left it out here. What did I do with it? Oh my goodness. It's a My Creative Time die, and it's buttons. If I can find it real quick, I will grab it here. Here it is. So it's this little die plate, and it cuts out 3 sizes of hearts and 3 sizes of stars, which you could layer on top of each other if you wanted. It's called Prim Button Dies MCT D569. And don't forget, I told you they've got sale. They're on sale right now because they have a new release today. So you get 15% off. Okay. So there is that. And so I'm going to set these aside because I don't want to get anything in the glitter. And I will show you the new, like I said, it's not a lot. The new Stampin' Up stuff that's going to be coming out next month that I have. It's just a very little tiny bit. Okay. This is it. This is the new catalog. Seriously, this is the new catalog. Um, Instead of having one bigger catalog, now they're going to have 3 catalogs a year. So this is the new May through August 2026 catalog. I am, yes, I'm still considered a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, but I'm just doing it like hobby. I'm not, you know, I guess I don't consider that I'm doing it as a business. So you can still order from me, and I do appreciate the orders that I do get because it just lets me stay in there, meet my minimums or whatever. So you can find me if you go to the Stampin' Up! Website by looking up a demonstrator, and it's Janna Williams is how you would look me up if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and there's something that you want to order. That's what the back looks like. But yeah, that's the entirety of the catalog. Really, it's just better to go look online. Okay, so this is what I ordered. This is called Sweet Words and Labels. This is the die, Sweet Words and Labels dies. And this is, why don't I see a name on here? Seriously? Is it right here? Oh, right here. It was too big. It was in my face. Sweet Words and Labels stamps. So this is really cute, isn't it? They both are. So those will fit inside here. I can pull these out real quick so you can see the size. These are nice. Look how big they are. Yeah, these are nice. I do love these kind of dies. There's little acorns in here, the bottoms and the tops, and some leaves, and then the rest are just all these very cool dies that you could create shaker cards with because they, you know, layer. Very nice. Okay, so that is the Sweet Words and Labels, and I will just put this in that way, and then I can see these. The stamps are just that. I don't need to take them out. All of the stamps are photopolymer now. Um, so the best kind of days are the days spent together. Oh, bother. Do you see what I've got here? So some of these sayings. I will love you until forever and even after that. I love that. You deserve a little treat. Sometimes when you go looking for happiness, happiness finds you. It never hurts to keep looking up, and old friends are the best friends. And I debated about getting the Winnie the Pooh stuff, but had to do it because it's just too darn cute. So we've got Sweet Old Friends. And so you've got the Winnie the Pooh characters, and I always love this image here. Um, So yeah, there they are. And then these are the dies. So the dies cut out all the different little characters, and then you've got some leaves, a signpost or fence post, I guess. You've got a couple different sizes of those, and I think these are the slats to make a fence. You've got honeycomb. You've got the drips for the honey jar. You've got grass, and there's the jar. Okay, very cute. Again, these will not be available until next month. And then this was Stampin' Up! Does a what are they calling it? You can get an item for $5. Close to My Heart used to do this. When you spend, I believe it's $75. So if you spend $75, whatever the um, item of the month is, that's not what they're calling it, but I can't call it a stamp or, because it's not always a stamp. Sometimes it's a die, like in this case, sometimes it's paper. So this was the what I chose. It's Eyelet Blooms die. So if they still have inventory from like the previous month and you didn't get it, you can choose that month's purchase with purchase or whatever you want to call it. I forget what they're calling it. Okay, so to go along with the Winnie the Pooh stuff, we've got this very cool embossing folder. It's the 100 Acre Woods 3D embossing folder. It's huge. And I wanted to pull it out so you could see how big it was, but it does indeed cut those sort of, or not cut, but creates that torn paper look, which I think is really cool. So that's going to be fun to play with. Yeah. Okay. I haven't really even looked at this stuff yet, if you can't tell. And do you see that pretty pink paper? So that's one of the new in colors. It's called Barely Blush. Kind of reminds me of, oh, I can't get it in. I will do that after. What was this other pink they had that they got rid of? Not that one. Where'd it go? Here it is. It reminds me of, yeah, Blushing Bride. Kind of. This was the Blushing Bride ink, and now they have Barely Blush. But it's really pretty. It's like baby pink to me. Very pretty. So I had to get that cardstock. And then let's open this Winnie the Pooh paper. Is Winnie the Pooh your thing or not your thing? I mean, I'm not into stamping specific characters, I guess, but I do think Winnie the Pooh's awfully cute. And I liked this and I liked the papers, so I decided to get it. Thank you, Renee, product of the month. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Yeah, I don't seek him out either, but this is certainly cute paper. And those dies, let me bring them back for the stamps, as I understand it. Cut out, yeah, we'll cut out some of these characters. So I believe like this will cut this out. Well, I don't have to do them all, but yeah. So these dies are sized right to actually cut characters out of the paper. So that's super cute. And then, so you get 2 sheets of each. Very pretty sky paper. I love that color blue. Let's see what color it is. Is it one of the new colors? Hydrangea hue. So yeah, it's one of the new colors. And you get, that would be that Barely Blush pink. And there's what that one looks like. So I'm thinking some of these would be really cute to cut out and use with that embossing folder in the background. Oh, and then you get like whole scenes here that you could use as card fronts. I'm not going to pull them all the way out, you guys, but so you get 6 different ones here. That's cool. And on the back is the characters like shadows. A nice stripe. Oh, and then you can cut those out with those label dies that I got. Nice to know. Very cute. So you can make some really easy cards. You don't even have to stamp in color, although that's what I like doing. Look at here, up in the tree. That is some nice tree paper, okay? If you cut it just right without Winnie the Pooh climbing the tree, you could make a really cool guy card. Like I have one of their old sets with the truck stamp or whatever. You could put a truck in there. That'd be cool. Okay, and then there's the 100 Acre Woods map on the back of that paper. Ooh, that's a good background. I like that. And then there's that. That's so cute. Okay, there you have it. That was the extent of my order. Not very much. I have to say, what's in that catalog, there is, if I could give a percentage, I would almost say 95% of it's floral. Stampin' Up's always had a lot of flowers, and I honestly have never been much for, I love flowers, I just don't do a whole lot of floral stamping. Um, and they're really into the floral. Okay. So we are going to read a few more pages from The Wisdom from the World According to Mr. Rogers, Important Things to Remember. So if you are new here, I do little story time at the end of my videos. Okay. Did I read these last time? I can't remember. If I did, I will read them over. Who you are inside is what helps you to make and do everything in life. Whatever we choose to imagine can be as private as we want it to be. Nobody knows what you're thinking or feeling unless you share it. How many times have you noticed that it's the little quiet moments in the midst of life that seem to give the rest extra special meaning? When my mother or my grandmother tried to keep me from climbing too high, my grandfather would say, "Let the kid walk on the wall. He's got to learn to do things for himself." I loved my grandfather for trusting me so much. It's not the honors and the prizes and the fancy outsides of life that ultimately nourish our souls. It's the knowing that we can be trusted, that we never have to fear the truth, that the bedrock of our very being is firm. Solitude is different from loneliness, and it doesn't have to be a lonely kind of thing. Okay, we'll stop there. Short and sweet. Renee Eeyore is one of your favorite characters. Oh, yeah, that's weird. They spell it. Is it on here somewhere? Yeah. They don't spell it right. Okay. So I'll bring the little cards back out. This was a fun one, and I think it turned out so cute. These, like I said, these are simple and easy, but sometimes, that's all you need. Fun. All right, you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope you get to be crafty, and I hope you get some nice weather wherever you live. And I will just see you in my next video. Please give me a thumbs up and take care. See you next time. Bye bye.